In Lamed Beis Sif Chaf Daled, the Mechaber says Mutter Lichtov al Mokem Hagrar val Mokem Hamchak, which means that if you scraped off the letters, Mechak and Grar are the same. It's just the difference is that Grar is when you rip it off when it's dry, and Mechak is when you erase it when it's wet. But basically, even if you erase an area and there's a klaf which is sort of rubbed out, you're able to write on it. Afil Azkara, even to write Neshem Hashem is allowed. But just an Eitz Tova, don't erase when it's wet, because if you try to erase it when it's wet, it's not going to clean out well. It's not a good idea. So erase it when it's dry. It's a lot better. Okay, so now before we go weiter, what we'll do is just the introduction, and then tomorrow we'll go weiter. And this is where the Mishnah Berurah gives a long hakdama, and that is, when it comes to a Sefer Torah, it doesn't apply, but it's dafka tefillin and mezuzahs, that if you continued writing, you can't go back to fix it, because it's a problem of, it has to be written kisidron. So the question is, what type of mistake is it so egregious? Meaning like this, you could have multiple reasons why the klaf is puzzle, why the tefillin are puzzle. The question is, are all the psulim the same, in that you can't go back to correct it if you kept writing afterwards, or they're type of psulim where you're able to go back and correct it even if you continue writing afterwards? That's the shaila of this next sif in Mechaber. I'll just read the Mishnah Berurah's Hakdama. The Mishnah Berurah says, Sif zeh yivor by din shaloi kisidron. This sif that we're about to do deals with shaloi kisidron, which means going back and fixing it when you continue writing past it. What's allowed, what's not allowed. Pashas, you're not allowed any situation, but is there a situation where you can go back to fix it? So it says the Mishnah Berurah, in Yanai Aruchin, it's a very long sif, ve'echlo bekitzra, bedin zeh yesh gimel pratim. I'm going to tell you the 3 rules, and then it'll make the entire sif tomorrow a lot easier. Rule number 1, im yesh kilkol be'eza ois, if there's a problem with a letter, bein shenas zev beis ksiva, shenas lach ksiva, whether it happened at the time of the writing or afterwards, im ner la'ayin kol she'ein tzuras yalav, and it's a type of psul that you no longer looks like the letter. Gegoin yud shechasale ragloi, a yud without the bottom, so it's just a dot. Or shin shechasale yud echad, or a shin without an arm. So it's just 2 out of 3 arms. It lost its tzur of the ksav. V'cholki agavna shechaser ba'ois eza davar asher eza ad shayedeza ein tmunasei alav, to the point where it no longer has the tzura. Afilu ein nidma mishum zeloi sacher. Even if it doesn't look like another letter, it just doesn't look like the letter it's supposed to look like. Because of lefanav, and you continued writing, loi mahani le shum tikun. You can't fix it. Even if you have a child look at it, it doesn't matter. So if you have a shin that you're missing one of the heads, and then you continue after, you can't go back. You can't fill it. It's too late. It's a pasal ksav, and there's nothing you could do. Pasal mishum shalei kisidron. On the contrary, and all the more so if it looks like another letter. So let's say you have a dalid that's missing the corner, so now it looks like a resh. That's for sure a problem. But the point is, in these type of situations, the psul is so glaring that if you continue writing afterwards, you can't go back. Or if a ches, which is, there's a chunk missing from the leg, so it looks like a hay, then he says all of these, you can't go back, and a child reading doesn't help. That's rule number 1. Let's say you have a situation where the mistake does not ruin the letter entirely. So they give an example. You have a vav where there's a crack in the vav. It still looks like a vav. It's puzzle, but it still looks like a vav. Adayin ikar tsurase alav, or you have an aleph where the leg doesn't touch the middle bar. So again, it looks like an aleph, but it's technically puzzle. In those situations, if your child can read it, even though that doesn't make it kosher, it's still puzzle. Lemaisa, you're able to go back. You're able to go back and fix it. So that's the only, you could fix that. So if there's a crack in a vav, because it looks like a vav, you can go back and fix it. Even though it's puzzle, it's not a problem shleika sidron. V'yesh oid oifin shlishi. And there's a third rule. The third rule is shaf b'sheikar tzurasa yesh alav v'tina kair la'is. Even if it looks like the tzura, and a child can read it, afilu hachi loy mahani. It won't help. And what's that? Gegoyin ois shenifsal be'ezeh davar shetikunahu ligror miktsasai. The type of psul where the way to fix it is to scrape up a little bit of the letter. Meaning, let's say they have a psul let's say there's a hay where the leg is touching the top. So it's kind of like a ches. It looks like a hay, but it's touching. The way to kasher it would to scratch it out. That he says l'kas mechodash, that won't help because scratching that won't help because that's chaktayches. And then to scratch it, you'll have to scratch out the whole letter. And once you scratch out the whole letter, you can't go back. So basically, the only way you can go back and fill it in kisidron is if there's a crack in the letter, but it looks like the tsura of the letter. If there's a missing in the letter, but it looks like the tsura, that's the only time you can go back.